This is Good Taste Brekkie with Chloe and Ellerina on Juice 107.3. If you've just joined us, we've been chatting about a new show that kicks off tonight.
So excited.
Very excited about it. I don't generally like golf.
Me
but
neither.
I think I'm going to like this show. And we're lucky enough to be joined by one of the hosts who's not necessarily known for golf, actually. He's a bit of a sprinter.
Yes.
100-metre sprinter, in fact. And his name is Matt Shirvington. Good morning, Shervo. How's it going, mate?
Morning.
Good morning, guys. Yes, what about this? Who would have thought? Primetime golf show. What about it? I know, you're so right. I could run in a straight line. I just cannot hit a ball in a straight line. But look, this is going to be a heap of fun. Holy moly is just wacky, wild, it's nail-biting, it's scintillating, and there's a competition involved. So you've got pro golfers, amateur golfers, average Joes going head-to-head on these weird holes where they've got fire-breathing dragons, they've got giant windmills, we've got a giant rotisserie chook, we've got just so many different things. It's just, it's wacky. It's wacky, put it that way.
Have you yourself had a go at it yet, though?
I had a little go when we were filming, and again, I am so bad. I must admit, though, I didn't take on any of the obstacles because after watching some of the competitors do it, it takes a lot of courage. I have an absolute admiration for the players on Holey Moley because it really does. You've got to muster a lot of courage to get in front of a swinging Portaloo door, or what about the there's a hole called Volcano where we throw them down a zip line on this isolated pole in the middle of a swimming pool, and they have to try and hang on to the pole, and it's about 40 foot high. So, yes, we put people through a little bit, but they had fun doing it, that's for sure.
It's like the Survivor of putt-putt golf, really,
Right.
isn't it, Shervo? You know, my husband, Matt Rogers, is a massive golf fan. I'm hoping he can get a start on the show because I'd love to see him throwing down a zip line off a volcano.
I reckon he would be bloody good. I mean, I'm a fan of Matty's, of course, as a footy player, but then also on Survivor too. And you've got to muster a whole lot of different elements of your skill set. So, yeah, I reckon you'd go all right.
Maybe you could put in a word for me. Hey, Shervo, tell me about Rob Riggle. What's he like to work with? Because he looks like an absolute cack.
You know what? I was quite surprised, actually. Such a humble, down-to-earth guy. He served in the military for 23 years and actually was stationed in New York, and that's where he started his comedy career towards the end of his military service.
Wow.
So he would go to comedy clubs and he'd do his thing, and then he was picked up by Saturday Night Live and did that, and that really made a name for himself. And then went to Hollywood, did 21 Jump Street, The Hangover. You would have seen him in Modern Family. I think he was in 7 seasons of Modern Family as Gil Thorpe, the guy who was Phil Dunphy's nemesis. I learned a little bit along the way. And do you know what? He's just funny. He's just so funny. The timing's brilliant. He's so creative. My cheeks were hurting the first night we were filming. I was like, oh, my God, I'm not going to get through this.
We actually spoke to Sonia Kruger last week, and she's under the impression that the two of you kind of ganged up on her to do some pranks. Is this true?
So there's one hole called the distractor, and you actually are distracted by certain things that come out in front of you. And it's a very simple putt, but you've got to try and hold your nerve and not be distracted by whatever it is in front of you.
Right.
And one of those, we brought some wild animals out. And yes, we may have left a giant diamond python in her trailer.
Oh, my goodness.
That wasn't the prank she
That
told
wasn't
us
even
about.
the prank,
That's a whole other prank.
That wasn't the one she said. What did she say?
No, how many have you done on her? Leave Sonia
We
alone.
may have done a couple.
She talked about getting a fire hose got her or something. It was nowhere near as bad as a diamond python. I was surprised she didn't tell us about that one.
So there's another one.
yeah.
Where you've got to get across this. It's kind of like a plank where you've got to walk across the plank, and there's 3 water cannons. And she was out there just doing her thing. And we may have asked the groundskeepers to turn the cannons on while she was out there.
She's so tiny too. She would have just been swept away.
Right.
Oh, dear.
Right into a giant python.
Yeah, goodness
Yeah,
me.
well, we had it available to us. And not just that, but I actually got them to bring up a giant huntsman as well because Wriggle's so scared of spiders. So there was a giant huntsman up in our commentary box too. You should have seen it.
Well, that would have been the best to watch.
We can't wait to watch it tonight. Before we let you go, Shirvo, are you still running? How's your training going?
Oh, not great. I try and jog a little bit, but I find it so boring. Running's boring. I figured
Isn't
out.
it?
Arena's with you
really
there.
Is. So I try and throw some stairs in. I try and do a little bit of trail running, stuff like that, rather than just plodding along. Gee, so boring.
Oh, well, we're looking forward to being entertained watching you on Holey Moley tonight, 7:30 p.m. on Network 7. Matt Shirvington, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Shirvo.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Take it easy.
You too. This is Good Taste Brekkie.